Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or visit beacongrenada.com.
How am I supposed to finish cooking like this?
I wonder if climate change is behind all these water shortages. Time to think about the future.
It's really time to invest in a proper water storage tank, you know.
What water tanks you guys have available?
We have 450 gallons for a family of 3, 800 gallons for a family of 5, and 1,000 gallons for a family of 7. Purchasing any of these tanks will ensure that you have enough water stored.
Don't be like me and wait until you're out of water. Be smart. Be prepared. Invest in a proper water storage tank today.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess and Klein and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114, 232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via Superb Service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibbin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Alrighty, and hello to you. Welcome to another Mikey Live program. By the way, did you know or did you hear that the Real Value supermarket, the IGA supermarket, they'll be having their Easter egg painting and free games and giveaways and a whole planned day for people like you and your children. That's going to be happening on April 20th, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. So it's a day of fun, giveaways, face painting, doing little stuff with the eggs, at the Camahan Parking Grandstands. Again, the entry is absolutely free. And the egg painting, the bouncing castle, the face painting, these are all things that you can look forward to. All right, so just wanted to let you know about that before we move forward. Now, let's move on. So, we are getting a response from the Minister for Agriculture. All right, and we'll tell you what that is about. There seems to be, some issues or comments that's been made, and then the minister refuting the claims that have been made. So we will talk to you about that in a while. And again, the GBSS boy, the Grenada Boys Secondary School, they're getting ready for pen relays, boy. Everybody talking about it. It is actually not the first time that they're getting engaged in that event. All right. So for those of you who are wondering, we'll talk to you more about that as well. We have quite a few things. Oh, by the way, tonight, people, we are giving away a brand new cell phone, a Samsung phone, on the program. So brace yourselves for that as well. So we have a few things to tell all you about. We don't stay long on the program tonight either. You understand? So if you blink, you miss. Alright, so we're taking a quick break and come back. Don't forget, someone sharing tonight's program will receive some free credit compliments digital. That lucky person, yes, that lucky person might just be you. So study your head. And as I was telling you, study all your head. So we're taking that break and we are coming back. Yeah, and if you don't win a phone, if you don't win credit, you could win a phone. Okay, good.
Are you a progressive?
Shop with confidence at Quartz. Get the lowest prices guaranteed. Get appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. If you find a lower price on any other products elsewhere, we'll match the price. Plus, we'll give you back 110% of the difference. Shop with confidence only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so hello to the usual suspects and to the first-time viewers. We are also saying hello to you. We like to know that all your day and all the tuning and thing like that. And of course, it's important to tell your friends, tell your family and thing. You understand? So we've been hearing a lot about the RGPF and some of the things that they have been engaged in within the communities, and that's good. You understand? We don't hear a lot of negative things about the police these days as compared to previous times. And of course, they've got a good community program going on. And officers from the Community Relations Department, they were seen making their rounds. And understand, today, they've made a friendly pass through the village of Happy Hill in St. George. They were spreading smiles, checking out residents, having conversations with them, even having conversations with retired officers. Now, all of this is part of their mission to build trust, foster safety, and show that they're always just around the corner. You understand? Not just when there's an emergency or people get in trouble, but they are there not just to enforce, but as well to serve. You understand? And that's what they've been doing.
Again, how can you be a good example just outside of being disciplined? By getting good grades. And your discipline would help you to get good grades. Being committed to something. Understanding what you want in life and working towards it. Setting short-term objectives and working towards it. So if you average was 65 this term, you'll aim maybe for, let's say, 70 or 75 next term. And then the only way you can accomplish that is by being committed.
Yeah, yes, thank you very much, man. You see, and so that's what we're talking about. Oh, Lord. I find out like that. But that's the kind of thing that we need to be seeing a lot more of that. People going out there, the officers going out in the communities, engaging with the youngsters, engaging with retired people, engaging with shuttings, and, just giving them the assurance that they are there. You understand? We need to see more of that. And I think the police, they have it figured out. So kudos to the Community Relations Department. I'm very impressed with the way that they are doing the engagement and have been engaging with the public. This new approach will enable the public to build trust while enforcement with law enforcement officers. You understand? And that's very vital. That's very important for fostering a safer and more cooperative environment. You see, when police officers show community members that, hey, we are peers, I think that once that relationship start to build, the trust is there, and it's no longer we against them and you against us. You understand? So really, that's good. It takes a village. You understand? It takes a village. Officials at the Grenada Boys Secondary School calls it a proud moment for the GBSS boy. I'm telling all of that. You understand? Yes. What flex, narag. I'm telling all you, it's really a proud moment for them. They are referring to the presence in the United States that they have currently. You understand? The athletes are ready, get up and ready for the pen relays. You understand? It's not the first time. It's not the first time. It's been happening. I think it's a couple of years, 3 or 4. How much? It don't matter. But anyway, it's not the first time. So they are going to represent their school, but most importantly, I think they will be representing Grenada, the 473. Understand? So again, guys, good luck. The entire team. We wish all the best. All the best. Okay. They'll be doing their first showing for the 4x4 on Thursday afternoon. That's April 24th. Yeah, understand? The preliminaries, the 4x4, mark the date down. Thursday afternoon, April 24th. Understand? Now, if they qualify, that will put the GBSS into the 4x4 final of the competition, which also includes the 4x100 meters, the 4x200 meters, and the 4x800 meter races. Now, Team Grenada is accompanied by school principal Kenny James and teacher Vaughn Joseph, who is serving as the coach. And so, the Minister for Agriculture, Honorable Lennox Andrew, has dismissed claims that the Ministry of Agriculture deliberately disconnected farmers' access to water in Ludbar, Maribo area, calling the situation a simple problem that can be easily fixed. Speaking during a visit to the site last week, Minister Andrews acknowledged that concerns over water supply have circulated on social media, sparked by a single farmer's post. However, he clarified, or attempted to, that the issue stems from a broken main and not any intentional act by the ministry. The solution, he explained, lies in reconnecting the damaged pipeline and repairing a leaking dam that supports irrigation in that particular area.
A simple solution to this long-standing issue, and there are times when we make noise over something that can be much easily solved, and that's why I wanted to come myself to see the situation, what really exists, and to be able to find an objective solution for the betterment of everybody. So we will, in fact, take steps to reconnect the broken main so that the gravity flow can take place. And if the farmers are correct in their statements to me, that once that is done, then they will have the supply of water. It will require that we meet with NAWASA and we ask NAWASA to connect, or to reconnect, because it was connected before, to reconnect the broken main, and that's the solution.
All right. Now, interestingly, during his visit, the minister learned that some farmers and nearby residents also have broken lines, contributing to water loss. He emphasized the importance of farmers taking personal responsibility for maintaining their infrastructure.
Of course, there are other issues we could consider. I mean, there is a particular farmer, he has a main connection from the source. Ideally, that shouldn't be. But not he alone, there are two others. They have a main connection from the source, which will reduce the gravity flow for the other farmers. That, of course, we can address. And then there is the issue with neighbors who have connections as well. And these neighbors also have pipelines that are broken and remain unattended. They have to fix it. And I mean, we will make an appeal to them to fix to mend their broken lines. There are farmers as well who have lines that are broken. They don't fix it. They have to fix it, take responsibility and fix it, because these lines go directly to their farms. So it's a case where farmers themselves have to take responsibility, right? The other issue is the dam itself. The dam has to be cleaned. They used to go and clean the dam for themselves. They're not doing that anymore. They're not working together. Good. So I think I would also have to have a general meeting with all the farmers as well, once the main is fixed, and put certain responsibility in their hands so that they can, depend on themselves without having to always depend on government to do things that they can do for themselves, for their own benefit, and don't wait on government to do it. Of course, there are other...
And, he described the situation as overblown and called on those involved for fairness and truth, reiterating that there was no deliberate disconnection, as was mentioned.
It's a wrong statement. It's an unfair statement to say that the ministry is the one that has cut off the water. There was a broken main, a broken connection, and Nawasa had to close it because the water was flowing. That is the main issue that caused them not to be getting water. So once this is reconnected, they will get the water. And that's why I'm saying that I'm going to ask Nawasa to come back and fix that main that they cut off, reopen it so that they can get the water. Good. The ministry water will flow down because it's down a hill. It will flow down, and we will get adequate water to attend to our own work. But it is not correct to say the ministry has cut them off. The ministry didn't cut them off.
Thank you very much, Mr. Andrews. Okay, so yeah, boy, just hearing a lot of that stuff. Another thing that we have to keep an eye out on is, I think it was last Friday, I sat in for Shaggy on his program, and then another issue came up about noise in the south of the island by a particular religious group. Since then, I've been receiving a lot of calls and messages relating to that particular issue. So it is one that I'm monitoring closely to see whether or not a resolution will be had or seen pretty soon, because by the way, the look of things, it can get out of hand in the sense, but time will tell. Okay, time will tell. What else do we have to tell you? We got to take some time off on the program today to do a particular giveaway. All right, and of course, I want if you're ready for that. Just get ready, okay? Just get ready. Before we go to the giveaway, so the issue of sargassum seaweed continues to be top of the list for the region. And so the OECS Director General, Dr. Delicus Jules, reaffirms the commitment of the OECS Commission, calling for regional and coordinated action in tackling the sargassum. He's describing this as a pressing matter, and rightfully so. Now, he's suggesting a joint regional approach, exchange of knowledge, shared resources, pooled procurement, and standardized best practices, which he says are all necessary. Now, this aligns with the 2018 mandate of the OECS Council of Ministers of Government and the Environment, calling for a coordinated cross-border response to sargassum management. His comments come in view of a recent session in which the OECS Commission participated in what's termed the International Sargassum Sequence, the ISS, in Guadeloupe, launching a project to tackle the region's sargassum challenge. Now, SAGCOP2, as it is called, will run from 2025 to 2027 with the aim of reinforcing scientific research and observation, developing the value chain, also reinforcing regional governance, and strengthening the inclusion of the sargassum issue on the international agenda. All right, and I know they had a big sargassum conference. I think it was sometime last year. You understand? So, well, a lot of conversations is being had. Now it's time for action, bruh, because this is getting out of hand. It is really getting out of hand. We have to. I saw a nice little video the other day. They were like using a machine, that was kind of like, like collecting the weed, and I started removing it from the water. So, look at this. Look at that. This is crazy. This is crazy, bro. This can mash up with tourism. Understand? Anywho's, I told you all we have a Samsung phone to give away. Alright, and that's in collaboration with the Consumer Affairs Office. You understand? Now, I am going to make it as simple as possible. What date was the Consumer Protection Act entered into force? I don't know if I could make it any more simpler. What date was the Consumer Protection Act entered into force? For that correct answer, the first correct answer wins a Samsung smartphone. You understand? Whether you're on Facebook or you on YouTube, you win. You answer correctly. The first person to answer, you win yourself a smartphone. I need the date, the full date, the full thing. All right, the date, month, and the year. So whether it is the all right, what day of the month, what month, and what year. Who's saying, oh my God, day? Valerie, what? Oh my God, what? That easy. Look, Barbara. Barbara say March 15, 2025. That's today, Barbara. Why? No, that's last month, Barbara. Why you trying? Eh! Somebody got it. How is that you got it? Never. So we already have a correct answer. I want to know how you know that so fast. No cheating now. Congratulations, we have a winner. And yes, the correct answer is Naaman. I'll check and see if that person won before. If he won before, I had to think twice. So, yes, the Consumer Protection Act was entered into force on the 1st of July 2020. And you can see who is the person who had the correct answer first. We want to say congratulations to you. That was a good one from Nova Null. Nova Null, that's what I see you as on here. So I do not know. Please send us a message on 418-8888 with your details so that we can set up for your phone. You could get your phone and everything like that, and you could organize it. You're getting a brand new Samsung phone. All right. A brand new Samsung phone. Congratulations to you. You are tonight's winner. The answer is yes. In fact, July 1st, 2020. All right. So congratulations to you. And on behalf of the Consumer Affairs Office, thank you to everyone who participated in our series of questions. And we're looking forward to doing more. All right. We're looking forward to doing more. So that's it right there. We are going to take a break and we are going to come back. But as usual, before we take that break, what we have to do for you is we have to get the weather. I'll just take the weather. Let's check it right before. All right, so time like now, so I'm going through and get the weather. They're usually very timely with the weather. When I do so, then I see the weather just pop up one time and say, hey, wow, they're listening, man. And I stand there watching that. So I'm heading over now to make sure that we have it here. And let me see. Yes, we do. So here is the weather as submitted by the Met Office. We can tell you that the weather is expected to be fair, becoming partly cloudy at times with early possible isolated showers. Tonight's minimum temperature 23.5 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to east southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate with waves up to 6 feet in open waters. Wednesday's weather is expected to be partly cloudy at first, with brief isolated showers becoming fair by mid-morning. Max temperature 30.5 degrees Celsius, minimum 24. Winds easterly to southeasterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour. Seas moderate with waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. That's our weather report for tonight and tomorrow. All right, and we begin up the people who are on YouTube, locking it down on YouTube. Gleonora, Marcus, Jennifer, Suzanne, Alayal, hello. And also Kenroy, Kieran, Karen, Diana, Shamsha, Michelle, Sylvina, Angel, Jacinta, Lintona, my mom, Hazelan, Liz, Leonora, Valerie, Diana again, Nova Null, congratulations to you again. 418-8888. That's 418-8888. Karen, hello to you as well. Sylvina, I see you, man. I see you. Jafar, thanks again so much. Joseph, hello. And guys, we're taking a break, coming back. And of course, when we come back, we've got the national report.
Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or visit beacongrenada.com.
How am I supposed to finish cooking like this?
I wonder if climate change is behind all these water shortages. Time to think about the future.
It's really time to invest in a proper water storage tank, you know.
What water tanks you guys have available?
We have 450 gallons for a family of 3, 800 gallons for a family of 5, and 1,000 gallons for a family of 7. Purchasing any of these tanks will ensure that you have enough water stored.
Don't be like me and wait until you're out of water. Be smart. Be prepared. Invest in a proper water storage tank today.
Anywhere at any time and have it delivered to you right here in Grenada at yogo.gd.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess and Klein and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114, 232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
A Affordable quality products delivered to you via superb service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Shop with confidence at Quartz. Get the lowest prices guaranteed. Get appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. If you find a lower price on any other products elsewhere, we'll match the price. Plus, we'll give you back 110% of the difference. Shop with confidence only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
This is the GIS News for Tuesday, April 15, 2025. I am Sherry-Ann Noel. In the headlines, professional development certificates distributed by OECS Pearl Initiative, and Grenadian music producers engage in a master class with Casey Phillips in collaboration with the Creative Affairs. Details to these stories and more, plus a look at the weather when we return.
Citizens of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, as we continue advancing Grenada's digital transformation program, the government remains deeply committed to delivering modern, efficient, and citizen-centric services. Central to achieving this vision is understanding the needs, experiences, and expectations of all Grenadians. In alignment with this commitment, the government has launched a comprehensive citizen survey designed to capture firsthand insights about how our citizens currently engage with government services and what they expect from our ongoing digital transformation efforts. The data collected through this survey is critical. It will directly inform the design, delivery, and continuous improvement of digital services. We are seeking genuine, honest, and thoughtful feedback from all segments of society to ensure these changes positively impact everyone. Your help will shape a digital public service that truly meets the needs of our citizens. Please scan the QR code displayed on your screen and answer the questions. Thank you for your ongoing support and commitment to advancing Grenada's digital future. The survey runs until April 17, 2025, and is an initiative of the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology.
Grenada, get ready for a fantastic opportunity as the Grenada Cultural Foundation presents a logo design competition. So we're asking the general public to submit a creative and impactful logo to identify with the foundation's new brand, using its vision and mission as a guide to become Grenada's premier institute for researching, documenting, and promoting Grenada's culture. Mission to be the gateway to cultural empowerment to Grenada's cultural practitioners. The winning logo will be announced on Wednesday, April 30th, 2025, and the winner will be awarded $1,500. All entries should be forwarded via the following email address: gcfgrenada@gmail.com, and should be received no later than 12 midnight on Tuesday, April 15th.
Boyo, they gonna fly with kite now. The wind picking up.
I'm coming. Karim, what you doing?
Fly my kite.
Yeah, but not here. You can't fly kite near power lines, boy.
Why not? The wind good.
Because mommy say kite threads conduct electricity.
Grenland, energizing our Grenada.
Welcome back. 55 teachers and school leaders were awarded with certificates from the OECS Program for Educational Advancement and Relevant Learning, OECS Pearl, after completing a professional development course focused on the areas of educational leadership and management and the creative arts. The courses were conducted in 2024. The ceremony was held at the Public Workers Union Conference Room on Friday, April 4th. Sarana Mitchell has the details.
National Coordinator for the OECS Program for Educational Advancement and Relevant Learning, OECS Pearl, Dr. Astra McKenzie, noted that the training focused on the areas of enhancing leadership skills and creative arts.
And at its core, the OECS Pearl recognizes that quality teaching, leadership, and learning are the cornerstones of a thriving education system. The professional development courses that you were able to complete and that we will recognize today embody this vision, supporting continuous professional growth for educators. Now, the Creative Arts course in particular was delivered in partnership with the University of the West Indies, and that's Global Campus. And this course equipped our primary school teachers with pedagogical knowledge and practical skills to effectively integrate creative arts, that's music and drama and so on, into the primary school curriculum. I think what's significant for us in Grenada is that it's also something that is at the heart of government's policy. Okay, it is directly aligned. So for us in Grenada, it was quite timely to be able to offer this course to our teachers. Now, of course, another priority for government is strengthening school leadership. And the Educational Leadership and Management course, which was developed in partnership with UE as well, but this time Mona Campus, was designed for our primary school principals and prospective leaders, those people who are aspiring to become principals one day, maybe, we hope. Yes. And it was focused on enhancing leadership and management skills, essential for improving the quality of teaching, because that's at the heart of what we're doing, and I'm sure you know what coming next, and making sure that we cater for our students' well-being and success.
Deputy Chief Education Officer for Curriculum in the Ministry of Education and the Curriculum Focal Point for the OECS Pearl, Deanne Francis Thomas, noted the importance of integrating the creative arts in the curriculum and made mention of the ministry donating drums, keyboards, and guitars to several schools during the school year.
The integration of creative arts into the curriculum is not just an enrichment activity, but a crucial element in developing well-rounded, imaginative, and critical thinkers. In Grenada, where culture and artistic expressions form the core of our identity, it is essential that we continue to foster creativity in our students. As Sir Ken Robinson so aptly stated, creativity is as important now in education as literacy, and we should treat it with the same status.
Minister for Education, Senator the Honorable David Andrew, congratulated the awardees and zeroed in on the crucial role teachers play in the education system.
To all educators who have been awarded in educational leadership, whether we like it or not, the success or failure of our institutions rests a lot, in large measure, with you. You hear what I'm saying? The success or failure of our schools don't lie or rest so much with the minister, you know. Because today, tomorrow, this minister could change. Like we have seen over the decades. Ministers come, ministers go, but the schools continue. And some of you have ridden through several ministers. But you're still there. And so I'm pointing out to you that the success or failure of our institutions rests significantly with you in school leadership. And so when you've taken the time to upgrade yourselves in school leadership, it tells a lot. My prayer and my hope is that your training and the content you must have received in those training sessions will translate into obvious benefits, into obvious positive outcomes for these little ones that we are charged to serve. And indeed, it will serve towards ensuring that none of them gets left behind.
Awardees shared about their experiences with the program.
As a relatively new principal, having access to a professional learning community has given me ongoing opportunities to grow, share experiences, and learn from others who are on a similar journey. And I'm very grateful to the principals within my circle for providing that help.
In particular for my school, we have seen more parents are involved. Lately, we've had more parents attending the PTC conferences and PTA meeting. What did we do at our capstone to capture the parents' interest? We had them come in to help with the farming, make the garden around the school. We had literacy sessions where we teach the parents how to teach their children. So it went all the way back to phonics, teaching them how to sound out letters, how to put words together, right? So they can learn to read or help their children to read with their homework and projects and all of the assignments that they come with.
The OECS Pearl is funded by a grant from the Global Partnership for Education, GPE, aimed at increasing access to and improving student learning in basic education. The focus areas are early childhood education and special education needs, curriculum development, strengthening leadership and management, and monitoring and evaluation. The OECS Program for Educational Advancement and Relevant Learning, OECS Pearl, has been serving Dominica, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Grenada since 2021. Sarana Mitchell reporting.
In response to the growing climate challenges across the Caribbean, the Climate Resilient Water Sector in Grenada, GCRUZ, project continues to serve as a model for regional replication, with a focus on enhancing water resilience. More in this report from Janelle Rubin, Communications Officer with the GCRUZ project.
A recent peer-to-peer review and study trip organized by the Climate Resilient Water Sector in Grenada GCRUZ project offered a unique opportunity to engage in a collaborative exchange of knowledge, strategies, and best practices aimed at strengthening climate resilience in the water sector. The study trip brought together key stakeholders from the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, and the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. Participants observed firsthand the implementation of water resilience strategies, engaged with project stakeholders, and assessed the effectiveness of the project as a model for addressing the region's pressing climate challenges. Director of the Nevis Integrated Water Resource Management Unit, Mr. Floyd Robinson, highlighted the engagement with the public and the civil works as two of his key takeaways. According to Robinson, their Transwater project has passed the project preparation stage.
These tanks are absolutely wonderful. We do have a few of them on Nevis. So these are actually well put together, the pipelines and everything else. And just the whole way in which you guys are going about the project implementation has really been mind-opening for me. We are here, as you mentioned, in terms of studying, so a number of ideas we're going to take back, and hopefully when our project comes, and even with stuff that we're doing now, doesn't have to be a project the size of this one, we would definitely have things that we could improve on Nevis.
Director of the Water Resource Management Agency in St. Lucia, Mr. Jason Ernest, expressed his appreciation for the study tour, which provided critical insights that will inform the preparation of their concept note, which is currently in the draft stages for submission to the Green Climate Fund, GCF.
Someone involved in the water sector, very interested to see exactly what Grenada was doing, especially looking at the similarities with what St. Lucia already has on the ground, basically looking at best practices or, hearing about the lessons learned. So for me, it was very interesting coming out, looking at the terrain, similar in terms of the complexities, in terms of putting up the infrastructure, where the treatment plants are, where the sources are, how it gets back, what are the plans for the future in terms of maintenance.
The study trip also supported the strengthening of existing cooperative frameworks, such as the Regional Climate and Water Resource Community, RCWRC, established under the project in 2022. Head of the project, GIZ Cruise, Ms. Marian Geis, says the RCORC ensures knowledge sharing with regional countries.
With that, we showcase of how GCF and ICI funded projects can actually be used to replicate within their new concept notes and proposal writing that they're currently doing. So in our community of practice regionally that we're doing in the community, we usually meet virtually, but now we have the chance to actually meet in person, go to the sites, discuss with the engineers and the project staff, discuss the challenges that we had during the procurement, during the construction. What are things that you need to do when you're planning a project of the magnitude like this?
Senior project engineer at NOASA, Mr. Ronald Lane, welcomed the exchange of knowledge with the regional water experts.
As a study group with the others, I can say that basically we have the head start on actually everybody else in our combat against the climate change, right? When it comes to glass infused tanks and actually distribution, using a gravity system, they can learn from that. They see strategically the location of the plants to the locations of where the tanks are and how we distribute. We'll also get to see the kind of problems we face now, actually in the construction process and in the delivery of the pipelines to the customers.
The G-Cruise peer-to-peer review and study trip represents a critical step towards achieving long-term climate resilience in the Caribbean, particularly for the water sector. The G-Cruise project is funded by the Green Climate Fund, the German Federal Ministry for the Environment, Nature Conservation, Nuclear Safety and Consumer Protection, BMUV, under its International Climate Initiative ICI and the Government of Grenada. I am Janelle Ruben reporting for the G-Cruise project.
Stay with us. The GIS News will return after these messages.
Vegetation management at GrenLec is one of our key components of our preventative maintenance program. So we do the majority of our tree trimming or vegetation management before the hurricane season. From our experiences with Hurricane Beryl and Hurricane Ivan, the major damage we suffered to our network was a result of trees falling onto our lines and damaging our infrastructure. So it's important to have that adequate clearance from the power lines, so it will increase our reliability in terms of the safety to our customers. That's very important. We don't want the public getting too close to our power lines. Additionally, to prevent wildfires, we do our patrol and inspections of our lines where we identify trees that are too close to the lines in terms of height or width. We need at least a 10-foot clearance, and we identify trees that are too tall, and if they fall to the lines can cause outages and fires. We use external contractors for the majority of the tree trimming. We also use our in-house linemen if the lines are too close to the power lines, and we need the use of the bucket truck. Sometimes, based on the closeness, we have to take outages. So as the public, we need your help in giving permission to cut the trees on your property. And if you notice any trees that are too close to the power lines, you can always call us at GrenLec to come in and safely remove them.
GrenLec, energizing our Grenada.
Welcome back. Small island nations like Grenada are being encouraged to establish data centers in order to fully benefit as signatories to the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, CTBT. This call was made by Executive Secretary of the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty Organization, Dr. Robert Floyd. He addressed the matter at a regional meeting held in Kingston, Jamaica, earlier this month, which brought together over 80 delegates from the CTBT signatory countries. Journalists from Latin America and the Caribbean were also invited to cover the event. Grenada was represented by GIS Abigail McIntyre.
The Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty Organization, the CTBTO, was established in November 1996 by state signatories to the treaty. The organization's primary mission is to verify compliance with the global ban on all nuclear explosions, as outlined in the CTBT. In essence, it serves as an international watchdog. To date, 187 countries have signed the treaty, including all 33 states in Latin America and the Caribbean. Dominica was the most recent Caribbean state to join in 2022. However, 3 countries, North Korea, India, and Pakistan, have not signed or ratified the treaty. For many Caribbean countries like Grenada, participation may seem symbolic since the region lacks the capacity for nuclear testing or weapons development. But as Dr. Floyd explains, the role of the Caribbean and Latin America is far from insignificant.
The Latin America and Caribbean region, if we look at that whole region together, is an incredibly important part of our CTBTO, our Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty Organization family. The region hosts 43 of our monitoring stations, the stations that are picking up vibrations in the earth or in the air or underwater or radioactive material in the atmosphere, so that we can monitor the whole planet and we can know for sure if there has been a nuclear explosion anywhere, anytime. 43. 41 are already in place and operating. So that is a wonderful contribution to global peace and security being made by this Latin American and Caribbean region. But beyond all of that, every country in Latin America and the Caribbean has not only signed, but also ratified the treaty. So every country, as we say, is in full adherence to the treaty. That's not a reputation that other parts of the world can quote and be proud of. But Latin America and the Caribbean can.
Of course. To detect nuclear tests anywhere in the world, the CTBTO operates 337 facilities under its international monitoring system. This includes 170 seismic stations to monitor underground activity, 11 hydrocaustic stations to monitor underwater, 60 infrasound stations to monitor the atmosphere, 80 radionuclide stations to detect radioactive particles. Data collected from these stations are transmitted to data centers and then to the CTBTO's headquarters in Vienna, Austria. Signatory countries have open access to this information. But how does this benefit small island developing states? According to Dr. Floyd, the data can be applied for civil purposes such as disaster risk management, particularly for early warning systems for earthquakes and tsunamis. He encourages nations like Grenada to establish their own data centers or collaborate regionally to create shared facilities.
Within the treaty, states are allowed to use the data for civil purposes, for natural disaster management, response, recovery activities, and they do. For the states of the Eastern Caribbean, like Grenada, there's an opportunity to set up a centre that could access all of our data and interpret it and then provide advice and support to every one of the Eastern Caribbean states. Every state that is a signatory to the CTBT has the right to have a national data centre. So that is a centre which is on the other end of a satellite link where the data from Vienna, from all of the whole global network, can be then beamed into Grenada. Then you need some computer and some software capabilities and people that are then trained to be able to access that data. In some of the small Eastern Caribbean countries, they may not have the people that are seismologists or have the relevant background training. And so one of the things we're hearing from the Eastern Caribbean is that maybe a regional solution would be a good idea, where even the University of the West Indies, could, at their seismic, department, they could receive all of the information and then provide the support and the updates and the information then to the different states of the Eastern Caribbean. So every state can have a national data centre, But if a state thought, actually, I prefer somebody else to run it, then maybe there's a solution we can look at there. And that might be what Grenada would want.
Program and Project Coordinator for the CTBTO's International Data Center, Gerard Graham, emphasized that setting up these facilities is a straightforward process. He noted that countries can access both financial and technical support from the organization.
There's a lot of support that is provided from the CTBTO in Vienna. We help through whether it's making equipment available for developing NDCs. We train the staff and the experts from NDCs that are gradually growing their capabilities, because NDCs ultimately form part of the verification regime. So it's a process that they go through in establishing themselves, getting the right software, getting the right equipment, and the training that their staff need to be able to actively participate in the training.
This was the second regional meeting hosted by the CTBTO. The first was held in Africa in 2024. The inclusion of journalists is a key aspect of the CTBTO's outreach and public education efforts. Information Officer Sanem Shantai noted that raising awareness among citizens of signatory countries is crucial for understanding the organization's work and long-term benefits.
Engaging with journalists across the entire globe is hugely essential to our work. For me, this is where we have a bridge in connecting global affairs, topics that feel rather out of reach for ordinary people. Nuclear non-proliferation, disarmament, nuclear testing, to people, to their homes. And that's exactly what the group of journalists have been doing. We, as the organization, as a CTBTO, sponsored 7 of them from Latin America and the Caribbean to come to this 2-day workshop. And they have done phenomenal work. They have been engaging with our world, learning about our important mission to ban nuclear testing, our activities, how the region, more importantly, is contributing to it. And what better way to do that than to engage with media outlets that are actually based in the region? They carry our message and they do it in a way that is accurate, that's effective. And so hopefully we can continue to collaborate together on future initiatives.
For the GIS News, I am Abigail McIntyre.
Moving along, Grenada's music industry is getting a boost with the launch of the Bring the Beat Music Producers Masterclass, hosted by the Grenada Office of Creative Affairs. The event, which runs from April 14 to 23rd, aims to equip local producers with cutting-edge skills in music production and mixing. Leading the sessions is internationally acclaimed music producer Casey Phillips, known for his work with some of the biggest names in the Caribbean and the global music scene. His expertise brings world-class training to Grenadian shores as the country continues its efforts to develop and professionalize its creative industries. Senator the Honorable Adrian Thomas, Minister for Tourism, Creative Economy and Culture, addressed the participants during the workshop's opening held on Monday. He said the workshop is a step in the right direction for music producers in Grenada.
Not only this room is buzzing with creative talent, but because today marks another step forward for Grenada's journey in building a powerful and profitable creative economy. And of course, a very warm and genuine welcome to the man at the console, the maestro himself, Casey Phillips. This masterclass represents something far bigger than just sound engineering or beat making. It's about giving you, Grenada's creative thinkers, the tools and the mindset to compete in a global industry. And more importantly, to tell our stories through music. Brothers and sisters, music, after all, isn't just art. It's an industry. An industry worth billions globally, and one where Grenada deserves the rightful place.
Minister Thomas admonished the participating producers to make the best of the sessions.
Music production, like all creative work, is a journey of passion, persistence, and patience. And speaking of journeys, every great producer starts somewhere. Some begin in church choirs, others with a cracked laptop and a pair of headphones held together by duct tapes. but the destination. That's up to you solely, despite what you may have done. So continue to dream big and put in hard work.
Minister also expressed gratitude to Phillips for accepting the invitation to share knowledge with Grenadian music producers and the Office of Creative Affairs.
Casey, your work has helped define Caribbean soundtracks for over a decade. Working with the best, shaping in dash voice, hit after hit after hit, that move dance floors from Port of Spain to Brooklyn. Casey, thank you for sharing your world-class knowledge with Grenada Rising Stars. And to the Grenada Office of Creative Affairs, I am giving you your banquet, your bouquet now. Heartfelt thank you. You continue to champion the arts, not as a hobby, but as a vital pillar of our economy.
Casey Phillips, founder of Precision Productions, is happy to collaborate to get Grenadian producers to take their productions to the next level.
We've been trying to make this happen. I was talking to Tracy and Gina. We're trying to make this happen about 7 years now. And we tried before I moved to Los Angeles, and we didn't have any success. But I think, and what they say, nothing happens before it's time. I think now we're ready. It's great to see everybody turning out. You're going to learn a lot. I hope you're ready for some headaches, because I'm going to hit everybody's head. I am also bringing things that I've learned in the last 6 years. So I have not taught these things as yet. So it might be it'll be strange, but it's worth it. I think aside from learning everything, I hope that this inspires everyone to collaborate and work together. Because we could learn all these things and you could go back home in your little silos and work quietly by yourself. But I think I hope these initiatives kind of show that we all need to collaborate and work together. So we have writers, producers, probably management, Goka as well. I think we all need to always collaborate.
Musician Eugene Gittins expressed thanks to the Grenada Office of Creative Affairs for recognizing the vision for music producers in Grenada.
When you have people representing you, you want them to kind of think ahead of you. What's coming? What you would like? And I want to recognize Goka for that, because Goka, apart from talking to us and getting what we need from us, they also are very, very visionary. And today is a testimony to that. To have this producers workshop with somebody at the caliber of Casey Phillips. So Goka is visionary and thinking ahead, forward thinking, and that's something that we need in the industry. And of course, we know as AMP, right, we would also be there to work with them to do things that we in the sector would need and would take us to the next level.
Participants will benefit from an in-depth curriculum that includes advanced music production techniques, songwriting and vocal recording, mixing and mastering essentials, music copyright and licensing, practical projects, and industry insights. Minister for Agriculture, Honorable Lennox Andrews, has dismissed claims that the Ministry of Agriculture deliberately disconnected farmers' access to water in the Ludburn-Marlborough area, calling the situation a simple problem that can be easily fixed. Speaking during a visit to the site last week, Minister Andrews acknowledged that concerns over water supply have circulated on social media, sparked by a single farmer's post. However, he clarified that the issue stems from a broken main and not an intentional act by the ministry. The solution, he explained, lies in reconnecting the damaged pipeline and repairing a leaking dam that supports the irrigation in the area.
It's really a simple solution to this long-standing issue. And there are times when we make noise over something that can be much easily solved. And that's why I wanted to come myself to see the situation, what really exists, and to be able to find an objective solution for the betterment of everybody. So we will, in fact, take steps to reconnect the broken main so that the gravity flow can take place. And if the farmers are correct in their their statements to me that once that is done, then they will have the supply of water. It will require that we meet with NAWASA and we ask NAWASA to connect or to reconnect, because it was connected before, to reconnect the broken main, and that's the solution.
During his visit, the minister learned that some farmers and nearby residents also have broken lines, contributing to water loss. He emphasized the importance of farmers taking personal responsibility for maintaining their infrastructure.
Of course, there are other issues we could consider. I mean, there is a particular farmer, he has a main connection from the source. Ideally, that shouldn't be. Good, not he alone, there are two others. They have a main connection from the source, which will reduce the gravity flow for the other farmers. That, of course, we can address. And then there is the issue with neighbors who have connections as well. And these neighbors also have pipelines that are broken and remain unattended. They have to fix it. And I mean, we will make an appeal to them to fix to mend their broken lines. There are farmers as well who have lines that are broken. They don't fix it. They have to fix it, take responsibility and fix it, because these lines go directly to their farms. So it's a case where farmers themselves have to take responsibility, right? The other issue is the dam itself. The dam has to be cleaned. They used to go and clean the dam for themselves. They're not doing that anymore. They're not working together. Good? So I think I would also have to have a general meeting with all the farmers as well, once the main is fixed, and put certain responsibility in their hands so that they can, depend on themselves without having to always depend on government, to do things that they can do for themselves, for their own benefit, and don't wait on government to do it.
He described the situation as overblown and called for fairness and truth, reiterating that there was no deliberate disconnection.
It's a wrong statement. It's an unfair statement to say that the ministry is the one that has cut off the water. There was a broken main, a broken connection, and NAWASA had to close it because the water was flowing. That is the main issue that caused them not to be getting water. So once this is reconnected, they will get the water. And that's why I'm saying that I'm going to ask NAWASA to come back and fix that main that they cut off, reopen it so that they can get the water. Good. The ministry water will flow down because it's down a hill. It will flow down, and we will get adequate water to attend to our own work. But it is not correct to say the ministry has cut them off. The ministry didn't cut them off.
The minister reiterated the government's support and commitment to the sector, most importantly the farmers who are key stakeholders. The issues to be rectified soon by the relevant authority. The desk of the elderly within the Ministry of Social Development and Member of Parliament for St. George Northeast, Honorable Ron Redhead, paid a visit to Grenada's recent centenarian, Samuel Fletcher. Fletcher from the community of Lamode, St. George, was greeted with gifts for his milestone. Family and close friends gathered to celebrate with Fletcher. MP Redhead congratulated Mr. Fletcher and his family, as according to him, 100 is not an easy feat.
100 is not an easy feat. You are doing an exceptional job by reaching 100. I want to congratulate you and more so your family for the care that they are administering to you. And I know that you couldn't do it alone, but you're now 100, and it shows that the family unit with you, Mr. Fletcher, is very, very strong. And so on my behalf and on behalf of the constituency, when we normally recognize the elderly, we like to say to you, live a little longer and continue to live on. So God bless you.
Samuel Fletcher attributes the care from his family as the contributor to achieving 100.
It's kind of surprised me. I didn't even think about making 100. I just live an everyday life. I never think about making the 100. But anyway, as I make the 100, I have to say thanks to my children, my 2 daughters and granddaughter. They all contribute everything towards me. Everything. They maintain all the drinks and things and everything like that to celebrate the birthday. And I had to thank them for that.
His advice is to
take one day at a time, and that will carry you through.
Jude Bernard, family member, said that the presence of MP Redhead and the desk of the elderly is appreciated.
Welcome both the parliamentary representative, Honorable Ron Redhead, for this area, as well as the representatives from the desk of the elderly to be here this morning. We really, as a family, appreciate your presence. 100 doesn't come every day. And when you have a family member that has accomplished this milestone, it is an honor, and it is indeed a gratifying moment. And we're very happy that both the parliamentary representative and the desk of the elderly has seen it fit to be present here this morning to show recognition to Mr. Fletcher.
We take a break. The GIS News returns after these messages.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with but a step. So the journey of a year begins with but a sec. 1 second is the difference between old and new. The difference between what you have done and what you have to do. 1 second is the difference between who you were and who you are going to be. The difference between a year of expectations and a year of memories. Awaiting you is a year of opportunities and new moves. Just one final second to reflect. And then we must embrace indeed. I reckon 1 second is all we need.
Welcome back. A 3-day workshop hosted by the Forestry Department wrapped up last week, focusing on the development of a monitoring program and early warning system to detect changes in the ecological characteristics of the Livera Ramsar site due to climate change and the other environmental threats. Participants explored the critical services and functions that wetlands provide and identified major threats and vulnerabilities to the Ramsar designated wetlands. These include development pressure, climate change, sea level rise, drought, flooding, resource harvesting such as fish and game species, and pollution. The workshop also included discussions on mitigation and adaptation strategies to safeguard the site's ecological integrity. Key areas highlighted were the need for increased site management, stronger public awareness and education initiatives, improved legislative and policy frameworks, as well as continuous monitoring and evaluation. These actions are expected to contribute significantly to the sustainable management of the Livera Ramsar site and its valuable resources. Acting Chief Forestry Officer Anthony Jeremiah expounds.
We have this Ramsar site, and we are part of the parties to the Convention on Wetlands. That's the Ramsar Convention. And we are seeking to better, under the convention, we are seeking to create better management of those sites that is designated as Ramsar. So under the convention, they are giving us the capacity through that project to build capacity and to enable us to provide greater effective in terms of management of the sites. In developing the monitoring program, we look at a pilot program whereby we will be focusing on some of the variables that we see is very that is current in regards to having a climate change impact on the site. So as we notice, we're looking at hurricane intensity and frequency. As we saw last year, we had devastation of the mangrove in the site, and so we're looking at continuing monitoring those vulnerabilities and other vulnerabilities that can be associated with the site.
Francisco Jimenez, Technical Officer for the Wise Use of the Wetlands Project, noted that equipping stakeholders with effective monitoring skills enhances their ability to anticipate and respond to potential changes in the site's ecological character.
So, in case something happens, we'll have this early warning system that will allow us to know how to act, how to adapt to the management systems we have in place to make sure that the threats do not have a negative impact on the site for the future, and that we're able to preserve it as it is, that or at least or even improve it if possible. They were talking about how, for example, hurricanes have impacted the site. We're addressing climate change impacts and how they change patterns on climate, on rainfall, temperatures, right? And how human activities also impact the site. We're addressing, for instance, land use change, overfishing, hunting on the site. We're also addressing some management issues that we have that, for instance, we don't have physical delimitation on the site. So we're trying to say, okay, given these circumstances, how can we address it for the future?
Claudette Pitt, representative of the St. Patrick Environmental and Community Tourism Organization, SPECTO, and convener on the functioning of the wetlands as a Ramsar site, expressed hope that this initiative would lead to the enactment of regulations aimed at preserving the area.
While we have international importance, it is protected nationally. It's not legal. It is not a legalized, regulated national park or a protected area. We are hoping that this exercise today could guide us towards some kind of policy to the government of Grenada in looking at that site more carefully and its importance to Grenada, to ensuring that we have some kind of regulations to support the protected area, the Liver Pond protected area.
And finally, the Grenada Athletics Association has selected a 39-member squad to represent Grenada at the 52nd Character Games at the Hazley Crawford Stadium, Trinidad, April 19 to 21st, 2025. The team is said to be a well-balanced one with athletes slated to participate in both the track and field events. Veteran coach Wayne McSween will serve as the head coach for the team. He urged them to be on their best behavior and let discipline be their watchword.
All I depend on is your discipline. Respect, number one, and no matter what, your officials will be with you to ensure you have a very good competition. We, as usual, I think I'm the oldest in the business here. Yes. As usual, we give all our energy. We give up a weekend to go with you and to be with you for you to perform your best. All we want you to reciprocate is your respect. That's all. Give your effort. We are going to support you. Parents are behind you, spectators, and I'm going to say something none of the people before me would have said. In Trinidad, I think 3/4 of the population is Grenada. And those of you who never been there in a competition, when you start performing, the stadium will be littered with Grenada flags. So be prepared. People will be pulling you to talk who's your family, where you come from. Oh, we are cousins by so and so. You know, once you are not busy, have a civil dialogue with them, keep it brief and move on.
Lee Coffey, who has been selected for a second consecutive year as the sprint coach for the team, says he's always ready to serve the country.
It is a very thrilling experience. And like you say, we're coming together as a team, as one, to head to Trinidad to represent the Spice Isle of Grenada. And it can be a little bit challenging at times when you have to work with athletes coming from different camps. However, that is what we train to do. And I would serve with great expectation as it relates to the athletes and to ensure that they make the potential, the full potential at those games.
Gracelyn Sam, mother of Ethan Sam, who has medaled at the Character Games in the Bahamas in 2023, says she's overwhelmed with joy that her son is once again chosen to represent his country at the largest junior games in the region.
It's a very enlightening feeling. It's a feeling of joy and satisfaction. I know he's a very hard worker, but I must say too, I'm not surprised he's chosen. Sometimes you just have to believe that your kids can do it, and with support of parents and family and friends around, and the fans, we cannot forget the fans, and the mercies of God, I know it was going to happen for him again, the third year. We try as parents to help him to strike the balance between training, work, play, and I think so far he has managed very well in doing that.
Gracelyn says that she has faith that Ethan and other athletes will make it to the medal podium.
At the Bahamas, for me, being there was an honor. And I think if I had missed that, I would have hated myself. Because just being there and seeing your son on the podium, it's like thank you, Lord. I cried, you know. It was just the feeling of joy. I was so overwhelmed. And when he came up to hug me, it was like a match made in heaven. It made me feel so much better that my son, and I call him the Grenadian boy, was on the podium to represent his country. At Grenada last year, he was sick. He had dengue fever, but despite the odds, I think he was still an overcomer. And this year, he's back stronger. And I'm telling you, Grenada, he will come and he will do well.
Aaron Logie is another parent who will be traveling to the games. His daughter, Annie Logie, has made it on the team and will participate in the distance races.
It's a very good feeling, and not just a feeling good because of she's performing athletics-wise, but also she's able to balance both academic and sports. So I think it's a good feeling when you have a child that is very balanced, all-rounded, both sports and academic-wise.
The team will depart via a CAL chartered flight on Thursday, April 17th and return on Tuesday, April 22nd. That brings us to the end of the GIS News for Tuesday, April 15th, 2025. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Sherry Ann Noel, thanking you for viewing.